Alright, this video is about batteries, and some people might find boring a video regarding batteries, but to me is one of the most important things that you can actually have in your camera bag, because when we take these things on location where there are no outlets, you really need a reliable battery. And today I'm going to review the brand new series. This is a new model from D&O Lighting. This is a 190 watt V-mount battery. In this video I'm going to show you guys everything that you want to know. How long does it take to kill the battery when you run the light? How long does it take to charge the battery? And many other charges that I can actually show you guys here from D&O Lighting as well. So stay tuned, don't go nowhere, I'll be right back. And a quick disclaimer, D&O Lighting sent me this stuff for me to review and to test it out. I don't get paid to say anything, and this video is not sponsored by D&O Lighting. So the old model that says Comer here, for those of you guys who are familiar with the D&O Lighting battery, and I actually have this battery in excess of 2 years and I use them heavily. As long as you take the proper procedure to charge and discharge a battery, this is going to be lasting a long time. This one here retails for $199, and they also make the 95 watt-hour battery, which retails for $129. Oh, before I forget, if you click on my link on the description, D&O Lighting is going to give you an additional 10% off for anything that you want to buy, V-mount batteries, chargers, or whatever it is that they sell over there. So click on the link to get an extra 10% off. I'm going to show you guys how accurate these batteries are regarding how long it takes to discharge this battery. So let's go straight to the point with the primary thing that you guys came here to watch, which is how long will this battery last with whatever panel that you actually want to power this battery with, right? And this battery does exactly what I expected to do, because doing the math, watt hours is the amount of time that battery is going to die within an hour. So if this battery has about 190 watt hours, let's round it to 200 watt hours, for example, right? So I made a time lapse here with a 200 watt huge panel, and this panel requires 2 V-mount batteries, and it did exactly what I want. 2 clean hours until the battery dies. Doing the math, 200 watts times 2 equals 400 watts from a 200 watt panel, expected to last about 2 hours. And of course, most people that would be buying this type of batteries here, they're professionals and they already know about these things. But in case you don't know, this is how the watt hour works and how you do the math to expect how long this battery will last on whatever light panel they're going to use. So with that said, let's say that your 200 watt panel requires 1 single V-mount battery. I doubt it, but let's pretend that it is the case. The panel is connected up to 100%, 200 watts, and this is a 200 watt, let's round everything up here to 200 watts, right? You're going to be running for about an hour with this battery with the light connected up to 100%, or if you drop the intensity down to 50%, you're going to have 2 hours of runtime with a single 200 watts with a 200 watt panel, right? Easy to follow. If you lower the intensity to 25%, you are quadrupling the time, which is 4 hours of runtime with this battery. And as you guys know, we need probably at least 4 or 6 of those things depending on what you do. And these batteries, they are not cheap. Any V-mount battery, they're all expensive, right? But if your budget allows, I would highly recommend that you get the biggest battery, watt hours you can find, because in my production, I shoot a lot of warehouses, everything that the camera is like here, but the lights have to be like far away, big warehouses and everything. So I need a big battery. And of course, every manufacturer that makes these, they also have chargers. So these are the 2 charger options from D&O Lighting. This one is for people more on the budget, and it takes longer to charge the batteries, but there you go. This is a charger, and this particular charger also features a 4-pin XLR. And this charger, if you want to charge a battery of this size, expect about 6 to 8 hours to complete charging. And if you put the 2 V-mount batteries to charge here, it might take up to 10 hours to charge. For my particular use, I prefer chargers like this, but if you are in a budget, you get this one here. This retails for about $69, and this retails for $149. And they also sell combos of, batteries combined with the charger. So if you want to go to the website, they have everything there. So here's the battery, and this is what you expect to see, the regular V-mount ports right there. On this side here, you actually have the gauge, which shows a full charge. And on this side here, you have the D-tap port, and also the USB 2.1 amps, and no USB-C power delivery. Most of these batteries, especially at this power here, do not have that. But check this out. I just got this off Amazon. So all you have to do is to simply plug this in here, and now you have USB-C power delivery. You can actually charge your phone with this here, because the D-tap will actually fry the stuff, right? Because that's like 16-volt output. So you can actually charge pretty much or power pretty much anything up to 65 watts. So here's a cool example here. I have the V60 from Zoom. This is a wand light that features USB-C power delivery, and it tells me on the display here how many watts I'm getting off this thing. So this thing communicates with this, that this thing requires 65 watts, which happens to be the maximum of what this can provide. So let's power this light using this configuration right here. So let's plug it in on the USB PD right here. Turn on the light. You can also charge the light, of course, without frying the light, because the D-tap will definitely fry this, right? So there you go. Power it on. There you go. It shows you USB PD 65 watts right there. And when you unplug it, it's gone. So again, right here, PD 65 watts. So this battery can even charge a laptop with this here, 200 watt hour battery. It's a lot of juice for your laptop. You hear the little noise. There you go. So you can actually have hours of video enjoyment right here. So I can actually have the computer at 100% using this battery inside of its internal battery. Awesome. I just wish this thing has a little display here, just like this one does, but this is a lot more expensive, and this is only AC type of thing here. So this one does the job. It communicates with the device. It only gives the voltage to whatever this thing asks for. This is what's called power delivery. And a fully charged laptop here, nothing abnormal. The laptop doesn't get hot. Everything functions exactly what it should be. Now, if you are also interested in this particular one here, I'll leave the link on the description as well. And it supports up to 200 watts total at once. It has several USB-C ports here, plus the fast USB-A, and you can actually charge anything up to 200 watts total. Of course, I prefer this charger right there, right? But if you are on a budget, you can actually choose this particular one, which supplies not only capability of charging 2 V-mount batteries via the tap at once, but also a 16.8 volt 4-pin XLR to power anything up to that voltage. And here's another charger, not from D&O Lighting. As you can see, it does not feature the 2D taps, and also does not feature this particular 4-pin XLR, as you can see here. So it's a lot simpler. And here's the charger plugged in, and this hole here is the actual charging light, as you can see. And this charger provides 3 amps for charging a single battery, or 2 amps for charging 2 batteries, versus 1 amp to charge 2 batteries and 2 amps to charge 1 battery. To charge both of these batteries, which equals to 400 watt hour kind of deal here, it takes about 6 hours to charge, while this one here, it might take up to 10 or even 11, 12 hours. Both batteries. If you put a 95-hour battery there, it's going to take significantly less time. Another thing that you probably will notice, because the 200 watt panel that I use, it gets super hot in the back, which the heat transfers to the battery, which heats the battery. So it doesn't mean that the battery is actually getting excessively hot. However, when the battery is reaching its limit by, 1 bar about to die, every battery, including your Sony battery, your iPhone battery, it tends to get a little warmer than usual. And just one more tip here regarding V-mount batteries and batteries in general. For example, each panel is going to behave differently depending on the size and the wattage of the panel, and also how the manufacturers design the panels, right? And also how much juice the battery has. For example, this panel here is 180 watts, close to 190 watts here. So this particular panel allows a maximum output of 86%. When you plug in back into the outlet, you're going to have 100% brightness output. And as the voltage continues to drop, for example, when you are like halfway, this will probably cut you off like 59%, 57%, as the voltage drops. Just to keep that in mind, because this is a battery, not a constant AC power, right? Now here's a huge tip on how to get the most out of a battery and how to make these batteries last for a long time, because this is such an investment, because these batteries, they're not cheap, right? So here's the tips. First of all, avoid at all costs, if possible, not to kill the battery completely until it makes the panel go out, until the battery completely dies. These batteries, they have a built-in circuitry that avoids, further destroying the battery, but every time you do that to your iPhone or batteries like this here, you're going to hurt the battery little by little, many times over. So if possible, just keep monitoring the gauge here. When it's reaching about 1 single bar, especially when it starts to flash, just kill the light, unless you are on an interview that can be stopped. But whenever possible, try to eject the battery out of there and put it on the side. Wait until it reaches room temperature, even though you might not feel, because this is actually a very thick plastic here, but the batteries inside the cells, they're actually quite warm. And this is why I recommend you guys to buy several of these batteries. I have about 20 of those things. So I keep like a big bank of batteries there waiting for, you know, for me to replace the batteries. And then I wait for them to cool off, and then that's when you should start charging. Wait until the battery is cool to room temperature, otherwise it's going to be damaging the cells as well. And that doesn't apply only for D&O Lighting V-mount batteries or any battery. It applies to every other battery of whatever brand. Humidity is also a huge factor. These batteries, they don't like high humidity and also high temperatures, even though the spec says from this particular range to this particular range. That's actually on a torture zone of the battery. So ideally these batteries, they like to be kept at 50 degrees Fahrenheit, especially when you're actually storing the battery. Another thing that you should not do is to charge the battery in full and then you put it away for like, 2, 3, 4 months, or to store the battery completely dead. That's even worse. So this whole thing is quite of a maintenance to do if you want this battery to last for a long time. I have a Sony NP970 battery since 2013 that I can still use it on my camera, and that's not gonna crap out on me in the middle of a shoot. So as far as caring for your battery, to sum it up here, don't let the battery die, and also when you charge the battery, try to have a low humidity and also between 45 degrees to about 75 degrees of temperature, and the battery is gonna be very happy. And that's the end of my review. I hope you found the contents helpful, and I want to take a little time here to thank my subscribers or whoever watches my videos or my contents that leave some wonderful comments, and also for trusting me with questions or whatever it is that you guys need. I've been doing this for a long time, actually since 1991, video production. So modestly saying, I know a thing or two regarding lighting and audio. Once again, thank you very much for doing this. And for the new ones, if you want to subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. It really helps the channel. So once again, thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you next time.